And Paige, you're going to monitor for Facebook Live for questions?
Yes.
Those of you that are just logging on, we want to welcome you in. We're going to get started here in a couple minutes. Thank y'all for taking time out on this beautiful first day of December. I think it's a balmy 53 degrees outside, a little bit of humidity. Thank you. And we have Cara that's up first. And Cara, I'm saying that correct, Cara, not Cara, or Cara? I know I asked again. So
Yeah, it's Cara.
Cara.
H is just there to throw you off.
Got you, yeah. And then Breeden?
Breeden, yep.
All right, cool. All right. I think we're gonna go ahead and get started up here. All right, I want to welcome each of you to our business and professional division. We put on trainings and information for our chamber. It's been a really fun this year to be chair this year for all of the things that we've done, even with the virus going on. We've done actually way more seminars thanks to the staff at Fort Bend than normal. Today, our topic is Pitch Perfect. And so I want to welcome each of you to the Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce Business and Professional Division webinar. I am your division chair for this year, Kevin Riles, and I'm the division chair, and I always say this, and I want to make sure I say this, that Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce is the only 5-star accredited chamber in the Greater Houston region. As an advocate for excellence in Fort Bend County and beyond, the chamber serves both our business partners and our community. We're very excited to present this platform today for our chamber members. And our presenters are great. We can't wait to hear from them. And so each presenter will have 12 minutes to deliver their presentation. And then Paige, who some of you can't see, but she's behind that Fort Bend Chamber logo right there, will sound a bell at 3-minute notice. So Paige, give them a little taste of the bell. All right, she hit a bell. I don't think we heard it, but I promise you she hit a bell. She really hit a bell. So I'm gonna go this. There we go, Paige. All right. This is awesome. All right, so before I introduce our first speaker, I would like to inform everyone, the audience, that for the attendees here on our Zoom call, as well as our attendees on Facebook Live, please feel free. In fact, we encourage you to please ask our panelists questions, engage with us. We don't want this to be one-sided. We want it to be two-way. So if you could allow for us to, enjoy you as much as hopefully you enjoy us, and ask questions. So Paige will be monitoring both the chat in our Zoom call today and also on Facebook Live. All right. So at this time, I have the pleasure and privilege of introducing our first speaker, Cara Breeden. Cara Breeden, see, I messed it up here. She is the founder and CEO of the Texas Forsythia Nurse Examiners Center of Excellence. We look forward to your presentation. Please take it away, Cara.
Thank you so much. Paige, are you gonna put the presentation up? Sorry, I'll go ahead and start talking. I don't know where the presentation's gonna pop up at. As Kevin said, my name is Dr. Cara Breeden. I am the founder and CEO of Texas Forensic Nurse Examiners Forensic Center of Excellence. This one's not mine. We are a community-based forensic nursing program, and we started as that was our goal, a forensic nursing program, but we've really expanded far beyond that. So I'm excited to share all of the other things that we do as well. One of the first things that I think is really important, so anybody even understands what I'm talking about, this isn't mine either, is to really talk about what is a forensic nurse. I think this one's me. Can you go to the second slide? Thank you. So I think it's important to understand what is a forensic nurse as we get started in this conversation. It's probably unfamiliar to some of you, but a forensic nurse is really a registered nurse that has specialized training in the care and management of victim of trauma. Most commonly, many of you have probably seen SVU, Crime Victims Unit, or something like that on TV. And you've seen this magic white box or heard of the rape kit. And that's kind of what we are best known for. It's something I work hard at changing the conversation about, because there's so much more that we can do, and so much more that a victim needs after they've been impacted by all types of trauma. So just to kind of lay the groundwork, a forensic nurse is just a nurse that has specialized training in caring for victims of people that have been impacted by some type of crime. Can you go to the next slide? So we actually, in 2017, I had been a forensic nurse at another organization, and I continuously saw the gap in forensic nursing services. We would have patients that had come from 3 and 4 hospitals before they finally arrived to our facility, and it had been 8 and 10 and 12 hours. And at the time, the defeat that you can see in these victims' faces after they've already had what we say is often the worst day of their life, they've now been faced to navigate a very difficult and complicated system to just get a care that is really should be a basic human right. And so I set out on a mission to try to figure out how to be able to fill the gaps in this service and to really meet patients where they were at. We really believe that we need to be in a space where victims don't have to go from place to place. We want to make sure we're providing forensic nursing services for many types of violence, not just sexual assault. Sexual assault is a very common type of crime that we do take care of. However, we also take care of victims of domestic violence, child abuse, elder abuse, and trafficking as well. Human trafficking, I know that's something that people are really keen to at this point in time. We're very knowledgeable in regards to what human trafficking is, and that's a population that we spend a great deal of our time working with. So again, our overall purpose is to make sure that we can provide services in a very calm, conducive environment, and to make sure that people are not having to go from place to place to find this service. And so what does this mean, and what does this look like for Fort Bend especially? Can you go to the next slide? Okay, so what we have created is 24/7 access to forensic nursing services, and we respond to any location within 90 minutes. So again, when I started this adventure, I say it's an adventure because it's constantly something new, which is very exciting for us. But we started with 3 clinic spaces. And then this was just last March. So March of 2019, we launched. We began seeing patients in 3 different clinic locations, and we have expanded drastically since then. So at this point, we are partnered and respond to about 40 locations. We're in about 9 counties at this point, Fort Bend being one of them. We respond all the way up from Huntsville, all the way down to Wharton. So we have quite an expansive response geographical area. And we have full-time nurses that respond to where that patient's at, instead of expecting patients to, again, travel and, fight all the barriers that are commonly there for victims of crime. So in Fort Bend County, what that looks like is we have an actual clinic location in Sugar Land, which we are really excited about. We've been there for about a year, a little bit over a year. We can actually take patients to our clinic location and have them come in to the calm, quiet, very comfortable environment to where they don't have to go to an emergency room all the time. We know emergency rooms, even if you have a cold or a cough and you go to an emergency room, they can be very daunting just because it's a scary, kind of loud, often chaotic environment. And so we thought that it would be best to be able to provide a location that was an alternate for a hospital. Some patients absolutely need to go to a hospital, and we've partnered in Sugar Land with CHI St. Luke's right there in Sugar Land. We can see patients from there as well. We have several other hospital partners that we will be excited to announce hopefully by the end of the year or first quarter of 2021. So that's very exciting. In Fort Bend County also, the district attorney's office has created a domestic abuse high-risk team, which we are a part of. It's very important that victims of domestic violence have early hands-on care to make sure that they have any of their needs met. So whether that be a protective order or whatever their needs are, we are part of that team to make sure that we are providing that medical forensic service for that patient in their time of need. We also work closely with the Human Trafficking Rescue Alliance, which is a partner of Fort Bend as well. We do a lot of work with human trafficking cases in that response, and we're honored to be able to be a part of that as well. And we are proud to be a George Foundation grant recipient. They have supported our work and our initiatives from our first year of inception. So we're very honored to be a George Foundation grant recipient as well. Can you go to the next slide? So things at a glance, as I stated, excuse me, we started as a program to expand forensic nursing services, and I'm very excited to be able to say that we have successfully done that. When we did that, we wanted to make sure that we had advocates on staff as well. So all of our patients get followed up with advocacy. So we have someone that's really kind of holding our patient's hand from that very first moment of contact to help them through, again, a quite complicated system. We have just started a counseling program, which we're really excited about. And then we also have launched one of the first of its kind, and it's an adult forensic interviewing program. I'm sure Ruthanne may talk about this, but at the Children's Assessment Center, one of the common things that they do is interview children in a very trauma-informed manner so that children aren't forced to tell their trauma time and time again. And so we worked with the Harris County District Attorney's Office and created a program very similar to what is done for children, but we do that for adults. We feel like adults should also not have to tell their stories over and over again, and they should be able to share this trauma in a way that is very safe and comfortable and with people that understand trauma and how to talk about trauma. So we're very excited about that program. We launched it in June and have currently done over 180 interviews. And so we're really, really honored to be able to do that work. The other program that we've recently added is legal advocacy. So we do have an attorney on staff to help our patients navigate the, again, quite complicated legal system, whether it be with assistance getting a protective order or issues with maybe a lease agreement because of something that's happened. We have an attorney now that can help navigate those complicated systems and be an advocate from the legal side for that victim of crime. So we're really excited about adding all of these additional programs to the services that, to the forensic nursing services that we provide. Can you go to the next slide? This is our team. I just like to, I'm super proud of the team that we have assembled. We have full-time nursing staff on board, and we have really have a mission to make sure that the community is really well taken care of. every single one of our staff is focused on the victim and what the victim needs, just to make sure that, our focus is always in putting them in the right direction and right at the center of everything that we do. Can you go to the next slide, please? These are just some of our partners. We've worked really hard since we got started to really expand and work with anybody who will work with us. So we're really honored to be able to, expand our services in such a vast geographical area. I can see in the future that we'll continue to probably do just that and continue to partner with other agencies. Can you go to the next slide? And future expansion, again, like I said, I foresee that we will continue to grow. We are working with another hospital system that will add probably another 10 locations to our response area. So this is really exciting for us. Our growth and need of services requires, obviously continued support from the community. So certainly following us on our social media is always something that we're super happy to have anybody kind of follow the things that we're doing, learning about the different services that we add. So we're really excited about that. And I think I talked really fast and I think I might be done. Can you go to the next slide? Yes, so this is our information. If you have questions or want to get in touch with us or any of those things, this is how you can reach us.
All right, thank you so much, Cara. Real quick question before we get to Shefali. I'm assuming, because this is all new to me, what you just presented, I didn't even know that existed. As far as cost for your services for someone that is using it, is there a cost to it, or that's why you have so many partners? I'm sure somebody probably might have that question.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked that. We absolutely will never charge a victim for any service that is provided within our walls. So if a patient goes to an emergency room and has some kind of medical care, let's just pretend they maybe have a broken arm. This assault happened and maybe they have pain in their arm and they need an x-ray. The hospital most definitely will send them a hospital bill, which with our advocacy and some of our other services we provide, we can help get that bill sent to Crime Victims Compensation. But as far as our services, the patients never receive a bill for our services.
All right, thank you so much for that. Very interesting. Thank you so much to Cara for providing that very important information. Our next speaker is Shefali Kapoor. Shefali is the co-founder of, she gave me I was worried about the name, so thank you for giving me the shake right there. Shefali is the founder of Vijay Computer Academy. Welcome, and please begin your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for giving me this opportunity today to present Vijay Computer Academy. Paige, can we have my presentation, please?
And while your presentation is...
okay. So my name is Shefali Kapoor Patel, and I am the founder of Global IT Education and Training Institute called Vijay Computer Academy. Thank you. And hello and welcome from Vijay Computer Academy. We have campuses in India as well as here in Houston. I founded Vijay Computer Academy. Paige, can you go on the next slide, please? I founded Vijay Computer Academy in India back in 1990, at the time where, in the city called Vadodara, Gujarat, when in India, that was just the beginning of the computerization. Paige, can you go for next slide, please? And people are not really aware of computers, or they did not have much information about using computers or computer education. In that scenario, I started this institute. I named this institute in honor of my father, Vijay. In India, there is a custom that, son carries father's name and daughters get married and, they adopt husband's name. We are three sisters. We do not have any brother in the family, no son in the family. By choosing Vijay, I prove that daughters do carry father's name and make them proud. Today, Vijay is a global brand. Vijay means victory. And throughout in my business journey of 30 years, we always make sure whoever come across, they are victorious with us. So this is the story about little Vijay at Vijay Computer Academy. Can we go on next slide, please? We are minority and woman-owned global institution, and we called ourselves pioneer in bridging the gender gap and skills gap in information technology. As I mentioned earlier, I started business in India and we expanded across the globe. Since last 12 plus years, we offer online live IT training with the live instructors. Even before COVID happened, since last 12 years, we are offering these services. In 2019, we also inaugurated campus in Houston. We are located in Stafford, Texas. Till date, we have trained more than 30,000 students, out of which 60% are girls and women. We also train 9,000 plus employees from businesses and corporations. We also train more than 5,000 women in rural areas of India, where even there is no infrastructure or regular supply of electricity available. Which can we go next slide, please? So we follow and support United Nations 3 Sustainable Development Goals. They are called SDG 4, which is quality education, where we provide digital skills and quality IT education for all. We also support goal number 5, which is gender equality. We believe in bridging the gender gap or the digital gender divide, and we always try to get gender equality in the workforce. We also support SDG 8, which is a decent kind of workforce, where we constantly work towards bridging the skills gap through our world-class IT education and training programs, and we empower youth and women through our workforce development. Next slide, please. So here is a list of our clients and partners. So it's a long range. We offer basic to advanced IT training for individuals from 9 to 90 years old. That includes all the students, professionals, up to senior citizens, small and medium scale businesses, corporations, nonprofit and faith-based organizations, educational institutions, government agencies, and international organizations. Next slide, please. So when we talk about individuals, our programs are offered for everyone at the different skills level. It starts from basics. So our programs are the right program if you are looking for new career in IT, or people who are looking to diversify into IT, or people who wants to re-enter in workforce after any kind of break, or you are looking for any work from home or remote job opportunities. We have a special programs for unemployed, underemployed, laid off workers, or workers highly impacted in the industries like food, logistics, personal services like hair salon, nail salons, and oil and gas. So with this pandemic, many industries have been impacted, and we are helping all of these workers to get a new career in IT or diversifying into the IT through our IT services and education. Next slide, please. So our courses are divided into 3 major categories. These are all career and workforce demanded IT training programs. First segment is called full day and half day tech workshops. So these are, small events, which is ranging from 3 to 6 hours. And we start with all of the basic on the Microsoft Office, Google Apps, some of the advanced skills on the Excel, Power Apps, Power BI. Some of those are the business skills. Second kind of programs are called IT certification programs. These are vendor certification programs. And again, these are 1 to 3 months program We have, again, different categories on the coding, programming like Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Java programming, business skills using the Microsoft Office, QuickBooks, some certifications on networking like A+, N+, database administration, which is Oracle, and some of the operating systems called Unix and Linux. The major programs for us, they are called diploma programs or the boot camps. These are again 3 to 6 months. You can finish within 3 to 6 months. And these are the popular career opportunities and high demand skills areas like full stack web development, software testing, mobile apps development, data analytics, cloud computing, office automation, and IT help desk. Next slide, please. So we work towards, or we help individuals to prepare for new collar jobs. What is new collar jobs? New collar jobs are tech jobs, which are skilled based jobs, and you do not require any traditional 2 years or 4 years of college degree. These are the jobs absolutely based on your IT skills. And these are some high demanded areas where you have the opportunity of getting new collar jobs. And they are called, again, same thing, web development, software development, IT help desk, database administration, data analytics, etc. Can we go to the next slide, please? So some of our popular boot camps helps you to prepare for these new collar jobs. So when we talk about data analytics, it's the highest demanded field where you work on the different courses like Excel, Power BI, Python, Power Query, Tableau, SQL. And data analytics helps you to work as data scientist, operation research analyst, business analyst, and different career opportunities. Another one is the full stack web development, where you can work on, again, different coding platforms and skills and technologies that starts from HTML, CSS, and you can develop your own websites, you can work for someone, or you can have your own business. There are many options on that. Next slide, please. Similar way, some other areas, high demanded areas, are software testing, which is called quality assurance. Again, we work on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, database. Another area is called database administration, where you go and have careers like SQL Server DBA, database admin, database manager. So these are all IT boot camps which can help you to get high demanded new collar jobs. Next slide, please. One more is IT help desk. So after this COVID pandemic, the highest hiring or the highest demand are remote services, virtual office assistant, and people taking all of their products and services and business to work remote. And our goal is to train individuals, businesses to be successfully navigate their or switching their careers, working online from home or from the office, learning their skills. So again, Microsoft Office is one of the high demanded area where without Microsoft Office we cannot survive. Like, those skills are needed, starting from students to the professional or business people, for everyone. Next slide, please. Some of the certification programs are Python and SQL. Next slide, please. And again, as I mentioned, again, Excel, Advanced Excel, Power BI, these are all business skills required for day-to-day businesses. Next slide, please. Unix, Linux, these are, again, popular career opportunities. Next slide, please. So we offer our services for businesses and organization. Next slide, please. We have a special corporate training division where we offer these services for reskilling and upskilling employees. Next slide, please. And we design, develop, and execute high demanded skills projects to apply under grants offered by Texas Workforce Commission. It's called Skills Development Fund. and we can help you to apply those grants. Thank you. Go next slide, please. We are also partnered with schools and community colleges where we offer training for students, educators, and staff members. We also help students and parents for remote learning. Next slide, please. We also partner with nonprofits where, again, our goal is to empower youth, girls, women for different community empowerment projects. Again, we reskill and upskill their employees. Next slide, please. We are partnered with many United Nations organizations. One of them is called Equals, UN Women, and we support SDG 4, 5, and 8 for the global impact. Can we go next slide, please? So these are some services we offer for the international and local organizations where we help them to create a different IT training program to support SDG 4, 5, and 8.
Now, I hate to jump in, Shafali. We're into your 12 minutes, so I just want to.
Yeah, thank you. Next.
Okay.
Yeah. So we also partner with staffing companies, and we help recruit skilled IT talent. Next slide, please. And we also work with the different organizations. They can be our scholarship partner to encourage girls and women to go into the IT. We quickly run through, and we empower women in tech. We help them to re-enter into workforce after any break. Next slide, please. We also empower moms. Next slide, please. And work from home opportunities. Next slide, please. We also offer career counseling and webinars. Next slide, please. And we are always with you on your Vijay Yatra, your trip to victory. Thank you for your time today. And you can connect with us, our social media. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Shafali. Appreciate that. I'm an old IT guy myself, sell commercial real estate. That's a whole nother webinar now, but I can remember the days of being database admin and SQL and all that kind of stuff. But it's not about me. It's about JR, who's coming up next. So next we'll hear JR Richardson, who is the Senior Account Executive for Consolidated Communications. Welcome, JR. We look forward to hearing about your company's services. Take it away.
Hey, first, thank you for the opportunity to get to speak to everyone on Facebook Live and those of the Chamber. Again, my name is JR Richardson. I'm a Senior Account Executive for Consolidated Communications. A lot of times people say, who is Consolidated Communications? Well, Consolidated Communications started off as the Fort Bend phone company. I'll give you a little history. Fort Bend phone company was then bought out by TXU, the same people that do your lights, gas, and things of that nature. And then Consolidated came down and bought TXU's part of the phone service. Once that happened, it changed the scope of how we were doing business. We became more of a consolidated, meaning that we're giving you multiple products to offer. You think about back in the day when we had the DSL, you've got mail. All those things that started off back then are obsolete because today it's about fiber. It's about SD-WAN. It's about cloud-based, so many other things. And I want to share that with you today. Bingo. Okay, I made my slide real simple and easy because I want this to be a teachable moment. These are the four most important things that are going on in today's times. We have data and internet. We have voice, cloud services, managed and hosted solutions. So let's talk about data real quick. At one time, data wasn't really a big thing. Everybody just wanted to get on the internet and they would sit around and wait to download a picture that could take 30 minutes to an hour. But we are in the we need it now stage of life. So then came internet. Internet is pretty much copper from fiber to your house or to your business. And the good thing and the bad thing about coax is that it's consistent, but not necessarily reliable. You ever been at the house and you go and you're looking at something on TV and then all of a sudden it starts spinning on Netflix and you're wondering why? Well, that's because the coax isn't a consistent flow. So some days it's really fast, some days it's really slow. However, everyone's now moving to fiber. Fiber is the wave of the future because it's a light-based glass solution that makes sense to you. So now we're not going from fiber, we're going to a glass-based solution of light, flickering, okay? The best way to give you an example of it is, coax is like driving on 610, coming around to the Galleria. Everything is fun until you get to that bottleneck. And then everything goes from fast to slow. Then it speeds up, then it slows down. Fiber is like going on 99. If the speed says 75, you're gonna get 75 going forward and backward. So now businesses are now going to fiber because they need that bandwidth and reliability to make sure that all their employees are fully working and not having downtime, because downtime means we're losing money. Downtime means I lost a call because the bandwidth isn't there. Okay, let's talk about voice. A phone used to be just a phone back in the day. You picked it up, you talked on it, you can click and do three-way, you can do a conference call on it. But there are so many more things that a phone can do today. We're now going to VoIP phones, VoIP, voice over internet. The reason for that is because you can get more rich, scalable solutions from a VoIP phone. Now, a VoIP phone can leave a voicemail. A VoIP phone can give you the option to have a hunt process where if Lisa's not available, it will then ring to Steve. If Steve's not available, then it'll go to Susie. And if Susie doesn't answer, then it goes back to Lisa again. So it's hunting for someone to answer the phone, okay? Also, you have a call forwarding solution that can be set up for your phone. Now, with the call forwarding set up, we have software where you can actually have your phone ring to your cell phone, or they both can ring at the same time. So the key for the VoIP phone is that you will never miss a call, no matter what. Third thing I want to talk about is cloud services. I remember when it first came out, I believe that was in the early 2000s when they were talking about the cloud, and people were like, what is the cloud? I don't trust the cloud because I can see my server right there, and I know that server is trustworthy. Well, what happened is they had some people who could break into your server and steal all your data right from that server. Whereas in the cloud, it is floating around in the air. And that's what it is, floating around in the air, your own personal cloud. Now, how many clouds can we have? It's a really good question because there's a bunch of them out there. But the cloud services is simple and it's easy to use, and you can pull it from any location. Whereas you having your server somewhere stuck over in India and something goes wrong there, you can't access your services. But if you have your own cloud-based solution, then you can pull it from anywhere in the world. Now, we have cloud secure. Now you ask, what is cloud secure? Cloud secure is when someone sends you an email and it looks like a great email address, but there are a couple of names misspelled. But the email says, hey, Dana says that you're supposed to give me $40,000 out of the account so I can pay this off. Well, you normally get the email like that. So you say, okay, and you give them that information. Then you find out that Dana never sent that. You've been hacked to the point where they are now taking money out of your account in your livelihood. And these are some of the things that we talk about as far as having services to keep everything secure, where it takes out data, data infractions, and give you data protection for that situation. Okay, the last thing we want to talk about is managed and hosted solutions. When you manage and host your own solution, it definitely reduces the risk of you being hacked or any downtime frame from your business. It also maximizes your resources to the point where it is right there. It's kind of like a SD-WAN. SD-WAN is more of a controlled solution for your services. How much bandwidth are you giving to one location versus another? If you're down in Katy and you have an office in Fort Bend, you will have that option to adjust the bandwidth to make sure that both of them will flow. Okay, now I went through a bunch of stuff in a short amount of time, but I wanted you to understand some of the the easiness of understanding services. Consolidated Communications is here local. We are a hands-on company. We like to take care of our people, and we like to take care of you. Thank you.
All right, Jared, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for that presentation. And I can remember those precursors. So we really appreciate you being on today. Last, but absolutely certainly not least at all, today we have Ruthanne Medford, who is the CEO of Child Advocates for Fort Bend. So I'm gonna get off script for a second and say I was part of the leadership class of Fort Bend Chamber in 2019. So I was blessed to be able to actually tour their facility, and Ruthanne gave a presentation and also helped with the tour. And I just wanted to let everybody out there that will watch this video know that they are truly doing God's work over there. And I was just so touched by what I saw, and I just wanted to give her, as the kids would say, give her a shout out as we start, that they are truly a child advocate. So with that being said, thank you for being with us today, Ruthanne, and you may start your presentation.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. That means a lot, and we really appreciate it. And thanks to all the Fort Bend Chamber members for being here today. It gives me great pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little tour of our new building, and along the way, I'm going to share with you about the services that are provided by Child Advocates of Fort Bend. So we call this tour the Voices for Children tour because the children cannot be here themselves. It is our job to give these children a voice and share with you their stories. So in today's environment with COVID-19, we're particularly challenged to ensure that we keep the public informed about child abuse, because we know that during times of stress and confinement, child abuse increases. And sadly, over these months, when many children have not been in school, there is no one out there to look out for the children and make a report. And our numbers actually have gone up dramatically over the past few months during the pandemic, but yet so often the reports are not made. And it's up to us and to you to be particularly aware and encourage friends and neighbors to keep a watchful eye on our children. And if you see something concerning, call the Child Abuse Hotline, and we'll post the number for you, but it's 1-800-252-5400. So what was childhood like for you? Did you feel home was a safe place? Well, for me, home was the safest place. It was happy. I was surrounded by family. They were the center of my world. But tragically, this is not the case for thousands of children in our community. I have been involved with Child Advocates of Fort Bend for 23 years. And for all these years, I have been haunted by the stories of children and shocked that over 90% of abuse and neglect is caused by a family member or someone the children know and trust. I've heard stories after story. Stories like Natalie, who was 5 years old and had been sexually abused by her father. Javier, who at 17 had lived in 10 foster homes and attended 10 different schools. No wonder he dropped out of high school and lived on the streets. Or babies like 3-month-old Marion, whose mother chose drugs over her baby. So you can imagine this is tough work that we do at Child Advocates of Fort Bend, but all I have to do is to look into the eyes of these kids, and I know this is where I need to be. I have seen firsthand how we are changing children's lives. So today, Child Advocates of Fort Bend is a full-service, comprehensive agency which served 2,690 children and families last year, and this number is increasing every year. Fortunately, all our services are free so that there are no barriers for any child to get the help they need. So let me tell you a little bit about what we do. Well, first, our CASA program served 222 children in foster care last year by providing every child with a CASA volunteer advocate and a staff advocate specialist to visit with them regularly and ensure their needs are being met while they're in care. Second, our Children's Advocacy Center is for children who have been sexually abused or physically abused or witnesses to violent crimes, and they need a safe place to tell what happened to them and therapy to heal and recover. Last year, we served 2,468 children and their families in our Children's Advocacy Center, which you see here on the slide. As these numbers indicate, our CAC is now over 10 times larger than our CASA program, and it is growing much faster due to increases in reports of sexual abuse and severe physical abuse. Our mission is to provide a voice, to heal the hurt, and to break the cycle of abuse for children in Fort Bend County. So the first part of our mission, to provide a voice, gave almost 1,300 children a safe haven to tell their stories of abuse to a highly trained forensic interviewer on our staff in specially equipped forensic interview rooms in our Children's Advocacy Center, like you see here. For the majority of these children, this was the first time they had ever told anyone about their abuse, and many had been keeping their secret for months and often years. While our forensic interviewer is interviewing the child, our partners in CPS and law enforcement are viewing the interview from an adjoining room via video. This coordinated approach is to prevent children from having to be interviewed multiple times by different agencies investigating the abuse. And this is critical because this is the first step in the joint investigation because it meets all the needs of our partner agencies. It allows CPS to quickly determine if the child is in immediate danger and may need to be removed from their home. It provides critical evidence to law enforcement so they can investigate the case. And it aids in the prosecution of the criminal offender to bring justice to the child and ensure that the offender does not offend other children. While the child is being interviewed, their parents or caregivers meet with our clinical family advocate, who provides crisis intervention, case management, and information about the process and resources available to the children and family. The second part of our mission is to heal the hurt. For nearly all these children, they have been abused by someone they know, love, and trust, and as a result, they need therapy. At our CAC, we provide comprehensive therapy services to thousands of children every year. Last year, we conducted 2,774 therapy sessions. All of our therapists are trained in evidence-based practices for children who have experienced trauma, and they treat the symptoms of the trauma as well as build the child's resiliency to avoid further abuse. Child Advocates of Fort Bend is the only place in Fort Bend County where these children can receive this type of specialized treatment for an unlimited time and at no cost. And this is critical because healing from sexual abuse can be a lengthy and difficult process for children, and they need adequate time to recover and heal. We are committed to breaking the cycle of abuse. As you can imagine, children who have experienced abuse suffer from trauma, anxiety, depression, PTSD, even suicidality. It is so important that we use trauma-based tools and approaches to ensure that we are sensitive to the specific needs of these children and that our work has the greatest impact on the child's healing, recovery, and progression to happy and healthy lives. Breaking the cycle looks different for every child. It may mean bringing an end to years of being sexually abused by a father. It may mean graduating high school and enrolling in college for a foster child and breaking the generational cycle of abuse. It may mean advocating for a child to be reunited with parents who have fulfilled their services, learned parenting skills, and are now willing and able to have their children returned and provide a safe, healthy home. And as you can see on this slide, it also could mean adoption, which we just celebrated a week ago. And so wonderful children find their forever homes. 5 years from now, our vision is to double the number of children we can serve, 5,000 or even more children. We know that there are thousands of children out there who are victims of abuse but have not told anyone and are not getting help. Our community is growing so fast, which unfortunately means more children will need our services. I have sleepless nights knowing that I have to turn away children. So I ask you today, what can we do as a community to serve these children? Well, today is Giving Tuesday, and so I thought I would take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about ways that you might choose to give. Child Advocates of Fort Bend is a 501c3 organization, so any gift you make is fully tax deductible. So one way you can help is by joining in our Christmas home tour. This is our 29th year, and this event is a Fort Bend County tradition. It will look a little different this year because we're going to be offering it virtually. We'll have 6 beautifully decorated homes, 22 DIY or how-to demonstrations, 18 amazing wreaths, and a few other surprises and an auction, including Santa and Mrs. Claus. So the way we're structuring this is that you will get if you purchase a ticket, you will get a link, which will give you access to our site, which will open on December 11th, and that it will be accessible through January 4th. Tickets are $30 and are available on our website at www.cafb.org. There's also a few other ways you can help. One way is to make a tax-deductible gift to Child Advocates of Fort Bend. And what's happened this year, and this is as a result of the CARES Act, is that this year only there is a higher allowance for charitable giving if you make your gift by December 31st. You can also join our Voices for Children Circle, which is a sustainable giving program. And by doing so, you would make a 5-year pledge, which you would pay out over 5 years, and it would support our ongoing services. And then the third way is to leave your legacy by naming a room in our new building. As you saw from the photos, we have a brand new building called our Davis George campus, and you could put your name on any of the rooms, or you might want to choose to honor a loved one, or maybe make it as a memoriam for someone who has passed. Or it could be a great Christmas present. So there's a lot of opportunities to help Child Advocates of Fort Bend. And what's going to happen is, as a thank you for every donation of $1,000 or more to support these 3 initiatives, donors will be entered into a drawing for an exclusive chef's culinary dinner experience for 6 people at Stake 48, featuring a gourmet menu and sommelier selected wine pairing. So hurry, because this offer is only valid for donations made now through December 31st. For more information, you can contact me at this number, or of course, email me, rmedford@cafb.org. So thank you for your attention today. And with your support, the impact on our community can be profound. Children will be safe. Those who have been harmed will be healed. We will have more youth graduate high school and go on to college or employment. And our hospitals, homeless shelters, and prisons won't be filled with children who have been abused. If successful, the social and economic costs of child abuse will be vastly reduced. So this afternoon, I leave you with one final thought. Child abuse is not someone else's problem. These are our children living in our neighborhoods and schoolmates of our own children. Child abuse is our problem to solve together. So thanks again for listening and for helping us transform children's lives.
Thank you, Ruthanne. As always, I'm just so impressed with the work that you guys do. And when we toured, I don't think the building, I think you were under construction or just starting. So now I got to come back and look at the new windows and all the new
Definitely.
cool stuff.
You are invited to come back, as everyone on the call today is as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, we're at 12:54. We usually end at 1 or just a little bit past 1. So I'm going to ask a question of each of you. And so I'm giving you the time just to kind of make sure that we keep in time as far as your answers are concerned. So I'm looking for the Reader's Digest version, not the War and Peace answer as far as length is concerned. So with that being said, Cara, I'm gonna start with you. I don't know, the staff did such a good job. We kind of bookended nonprofit with, for-profit. They just do magic. They do magic. So Cara, for you, for someone who is passionate about your mission and would like to help, what is the best thing they can do besides donating? Of course, today is Giving Tuesday, so donations I'm sure will help, but is there anything else that you're in high demand of that you need the community's help with?
We always have needs on our website, and often on our Facebook page, we post updated lists of things that we need as an organization. So, things like, it sounds really simple, but when a victim comes in that has been traumatized by sexual abuse or physical trauma, often we really have to meet their basic needs. So sometimes even just a snack and a drink and a warm blanket with some fuzzy socks can get them in a place where they can start that process of decompressing and healing. So Methodist was just amazing and did a really nice blanket drive for us. So blankets are always something that we are in need of. Again, we have a list on our website. So certainly on our website, www.txfne.com, you can find that information as well as donation information. We do have a raffle going on right now for a large raffle basket of different donations that we've received throughout the community that we've put together. So information about that is there. But most importantly, I think following what we do, keeping updated with our organization, following us on Facebook and Instagram, and cheering us on as we continue to do this work. Like Ruthanne said, it's really hard work. Interacting with victims of trauma, it takes a lot from the nursing staff and the counseling staff and all the people that interact with them. So certainly just sometimes cheering us on is the best, encouragement that we can receive.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. And I want to shout out Tracy. People have seen her in this, and I think she's with you, correct? Is that correct here? All right. So just Tracy, just give a wave. She got support right around her. I just want to acknowledge Tracy here as well. So with that being said, for those of you that didn't get that, it's txfne.com, txfne.com. Now, shifting to Ms. Shafali. If a small company does not have an IT department or person, does your company have a program that might assist them in hiring the right person? So just a quick answer to that, Shafali.
Yes. Yes. So we offer two help. If they need any IT services, we can offer them. Or if they want to recruit any interns or any skilled IT manpower, we help them through our graduates, our students. And if they want to train anyone, their own employees for a specific IT skills, then we go and do a customized training based on their needs and help them to, increase their productivity and profitability. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Small business owner here.
Yes.
So I'm the IT guy, the mailer, the everything. So I might be in touch with you as far as that's concerned. All right. So Jake.
And one thing I would like to add, one thing I would love everyone, the small businesses to encourage to apply for skills development grants offered by US Workforce Commission. They have a, good money to train your, to rescale or upskill your employees, or even you want to hire new employees and train them. So I encourage them to, contact us so we can help them to apply for these grants. We can help them to come up with all the projects, training requirement, everything. And they can.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a good idea. Very good idea. JR. So this is the new digital age. Everything is updating all the time. So the question is kind of how you guys keep up, and then where are you guys on cybersecurity? Just because that's important. I know that's a big question to answer in like 30, 45 seconds, but you the man, so I know you can.
We are definitely almost ahead of technology because we're doing research and development daily on how to improve everything. Cybersecurity is now the #1 way of stealing someone's identity, someone's livelihood, can destroy a business to shut them down because of that. We have software and partnered up with some tier companies to make sure that we can keep your company protected at all times with our software that we provide. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And last again, but certainly not least, Ruthanne, and let me shout out Dana, who's with you today as well. And so, you mentioned Giving Tuesday. Today's Giving. I actually wrote that down. My wife usually goes on that tour, the Christmas tour. So I didn't know the virtual. So, that's 2 mentions of that for those of you that will be watching this video later. But besides that, and I think I may know one of the answers to it because you presented it when we toured. But besides donating, what are some other ways that people can help with child advocates?
Well, we always need volunteers, so that it could be a way to help a child. If you'd like to be a CASA advocate, we provide all the training, and you would be assigned a case, a child, and then it would be your responsibility to meet with that child regularly, to attend court and present your recommendations, and really to be that, that positive role model in a child's life, and when they're in very, very traumatic circumstances. So that would be amazing. We also have the need for volunteers in our Children's Advocacy Center to greet the children when they come in for their forensic interviews and therapy sessions. So volunteering would be an amazing way to get involved. And then we also use volunteers in our office and through our fundraisers, our gala coming up in the spring. Of course, in future years, our Christmas home tour, see how that all plays out. But the community has supported child advocates in countless ways, and volunteering is certainly one of the strongest ways to help out. We appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome. So for those of you out there that are looking and listening, and also that will watch this video later, you have multiple ways to volunteer for child advocates and for our Texas forensic nurses. And then you have multiple ways to, from an IT standpoint, to get services and to train for services. You see what I did there? See, we just put it all in a little package right there. So I want to thank each of every one of you for joining us today and taking time out of your busy schedules, I'm sure, to do this with the chamber and for the chamber. So I just want to remind those out there that are looking and listening that we have a couple of upcoming events tomorrow. Our healthcare division is hosting an innovation in healthcare sector as a Zoom webinar. And of course, you can go to the Fort Bend Chamber website or on Facebook as well and click to register for that. And then on December 10th, our business and professional division, us, is hosting Creating Your Business Plan for 2021 with Glenn Smith. So for those of you like myself that usually do business planning, I usually do it in the month of December, late November. This is a structured way for you to be able to participate in a group, which I think is great for accountability and just for sharing. As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another, as the Bible says. So I believe in trying to plan together. And so with that being said, I'm really looking forward to that event with Glenn Smith, where he will take us through a process of doing business planning for the year. And that is personal business planning, because you're a business, or your organization's business planning, or nonprofit, no matter what. So that is going to be December 10th, hybrid event, including in-person and Zoom options. So this is a registration event. There is a small cost, not that much. You can either do it in person or online. So we are opening up the chambers for that. So if you're interested in joining any of those things, you can view the chamber calendar at fortbendchamber.com. That's fortbendchamber.com to get any additional details and register. And then as of within 48 hours, this particular session that we did today will be available on our website under our business and professional tab. And you can go back and see all of the sessions that we've done this year. We've done quite a few, from not only business planning, but how to work from home. We've talked about employee issues as it pertains to the pandemic. We've talked about so many things. So we have a lot of good content out there. And this was a great way to end. So with that being said, thank you all again for joining us, and have an awesome and wonderful and prosperous day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all.